Okay, the second part, we're going to start adding some loops in. We will not, oh, first of all, let's get rid of this thing. This is called musical typing, and you can either map out sounds to the actual keyboard, or you can switch it to a piano, and I believe you can actually stretch it out to be all 88 keys. I don't know. Anyway, we don't need this open. You can play with it later. But we will get rid of this, but we can't get rid of it until we've added some loops. So the first thing we're going to do, let me go back to my favorites, is, you can close that musical typing. If you want to get it back, that's how you do it. You just come up here, show musical typing. One of the first things we're going to do is we're going to extend our project. You have to have a little bit of understanding about measures, okay? So this is one measure from here, from this line here to this line here is the first measure. So one full measure in a 4/4 count means you've got 4 beats. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4. That is a complete measure. And this is measure 1. This is measure 2, the space right here. This is measure 3, all of this. This is measure 4. If you accidentally click this is your playback range. When you hit play, it'll play only the stuff selected here. You can, of course, increase that or decrease it, whatever, and it will snap 2 beats. It won't, I guess it will stop in between too. But this is 4 measures, so think of it as how many spaces, okay? But anyway, you can turn that off by clicking this, or just click that again. If it's yellow and you can't figure out why it's only playing a certain part, it's because you've got this. Just click that. So we're going to scroll to the right. If you have to, grab this bar. You can also zoom out quite a bit. Oh, sorry, the other way. Drag it this way, and you can see, and that counter's in a really, really bad spot. So this is the start of measure 27, the end of measure 27 right here. And then 28 starts here and ends right here. This is measure 29, everything from this line to this line. And you can't see it, but that's, to me, an interface flaw where they shouldn't have this zoom button right there. But this button right there, you see it? When my cursor changes to this, I need to click this and stretch it out to be 56 full measures. That means we're going to be at the very first, well, I'll show you. Watch these numbers. If I click and I drag, do you see where it says start at 1111? That's my very first one. And end at 33. We need to stretch this to the right until it says 57. I went too far. Let me go back. So I'm going to find my end. And I'm going to grab it and drag to the left a little bit. And I want it to say the end 57111. So right on that line right there. So right on the line that divides 57 from 56. So right there. That's where you want it. That is our whole project. That means it's 56 measures long. So here's 55 and here's 56 right there. Then we're going to grab one of our loops. The first one will be the festival kick 1. And you can click and play it, but click it again to stop it. You can also stop it by clicking down here, and it shows you the waveform. So click and drag. You can't drag it up here. Drag it down here and far over to the left until you're at measure 1. All the way over to the left. It helps if you have this zoomed out all the way. So click that little dot and drag it to the left as far as you can. This will be everything. This is a loop. Right now, this loop is 1 measure long. And you need to pay attention to what happens with your cursor when you're hovering over different parts. So when I'm over the middle of the loop, that means I can click and move it. When I hover over the right edge, the top right edge, I can expand it out, loop it. In other words, it's going to repeat everything that was here. The grayer or the lighter colored stuff is the loop of this. I'm going to hit undo because I don't want to put it there. I want to drag this. Make sure your mouse is in the center of it, and drag it far left all the way over here. Whoops. There. So make sure it starts at the beginning right there, and only one measure. And you're going to drag this one out. Let's see, we're going to do the first 40 measures. So we're going to drag the loop out right up to that line for 41, but not past it. So I'll drag it right up to it right there. So here's 41, and you'll notice as I was dragging, it says 41,111. That means I've done all of the 40, and I'm ready. This is the 41st measure. All right, does that make sense? And then we're going to do this again. We're going to drag the loop again in this same track, but we're going to drag it from here. We're going to get it again, and we're going to put it starting on measure 45. So we're going to put this right here, the start of measure 45. So notice where the left side of this is. It's on that line by 45, and we're going to stretch it out to the end of 52. So there's the beginning of 49. Here's the start of 50, the start of 52, and all the way up to, all the way including 52. So we're going to go right there. So it's going to end at 53,111. Just like that. So I've got basically 4 measures in between and 4 measures at the end. I've got this gap. And now that we have a loop here, we have a track, we can get rid of this piano one, and just by right-clicking on it and choose Delete Track. And then it should slide up, and this is a good time to hit Save. So hit Save and Update. If you need to see that again, just pause the video and go back. The next one, we're going to add this snare, big room snare right there. Sounds like that. And we're going to drag it down. We're going to start a new track, and the way we do it is we just drag underneath. Don't put them up here. You'll be adding different instruments to the same track. You want it down below, and we're going to go clear to the left right there, and you'll notice that this one, this loop takes up 2 measures. Okay? So sometimes the loop is longer, and you can see this says 8 measures, and where's the other one? This took 8 beats, 4 beats. And there are 4 beats to 1 measure, so 8 beats would be 2 measures. This one would be 16, so 4 measures, and we'll get to that later in a second. So now, this big room snare, you're going to do the same thing. Come to the top right corner, not the bottom, that's a whole different thing, top right corner, and you're going to extend this all the way to 52. So like where we did this other one, you're going to go right up to the end of that. You should have 4 blank measures at the end. All right, so this is, if you look at it, it says 5311. We haven't started measure 53, but that's the beginning right there. Good time to hit save. If you got it like that, just hit save. The next one, we're going to add maybe just 3 more loops, and we'll call it a day. Trippy hat topper. This one is 8 beats per measure. I'm sorry, this is 8 beats. And we're in a 4 beats per measure, so this should cover 2 measures. Trippy hat topper. Sounds like that. And I'm going to click and drag below. Start over here. So you see how it covers the same amount of distance as this big room snare. Trippy hat topper is going to do the same thing. We're going to drag it out to here. We're going to loop it out. So grab the top right, stretch it out to there. Revered retro bass is going to take a little bit more concentration, so let's just do that slow. I'm going to need more space here, so I'm going to go up and I'm going to hide these are smart controls. No need to use them, but I need more space here. You can either click and drag this down, or you can come up to the window, actually view, and just hide the smart controls. If you hit the letter B, it would do that. So I'm just going to hide that because I need more room. And I'm going to get, let's see, the Revered Retro Bass. And where is it? Right here. And I'm going to click and drag it. Oops. Yep, that's the one. Over here. And now you'll notice that that's 16 beats, which means that's 4 measures. And you'll see how that's much bigger. And this one, we're only going to cover first 8 measures here. So we've got 4 right here. And I'm going to drag it out until you'll see it even starts to create that little indentation there. That means I've gone too far. I only need 2 of them going up to the 8th measure, including the 8th measure, not into the 9th. Then I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to go from 17 to 24, and I'll show you. Do the same thing, revered retro. Oops, sorry. And I'm going to start at 17, so I'm going to go right here. Look at the line that's going clear up to here. Okay, that line. That tells me where it's starting. So I'm going to go here. Oops, a little off. Snap it back right there. And I'm going to go up to and include the 24th measure, but not going past number 25. So it's 2 of them again. So I'm really on for 8, off for 8, on for 8, off for 8. I'm going to go to the 33, revered retro. I'm going to put that line right there on the 33, and I'm going to loop it to 40, which is right there. Then the next one, I'm going to drag it in. It's going to go 45. So we're just skipping 4 this time. So here we're skipping 8 measures, then on for 8 measures, skipping 8, and then playing for 8, off for 4. And I'm going to have this go to the end of measure 52, which is right there with all the rest. And then one more, and let's hit save. Then one more, and we'll be done for today. We're going to do this Pure Candy Synth Layers. That. And that's going to, let's see, we're going to drag that. That's going to start at measure 9. So it's kind of like fill in the gap right there. So we're going to go right there. It starts at 9, and it's going to go all the way to 40. So right there. That's this part. And then we're going to start another one at 45 and go all the way to 52 right here. So the same one right there and all the way to 45. Oh, I'm sorry, to 52. And that's good enough for now. So just double check yours. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit and slide this to the right so you can see where everything is. They should all end at this line right before measure 53 starts. These should start at 45, and then coming over here to the left, you'll see the gap. So this one, Pure Candy, starts at 9 and goes all the way through, and I am going to zoom this all the way there, and I'll play it. Let me see. I'll put my playhead. I'm going to click up here, drag my playhead there, and just play it for a little bit. Kind of repetitive, I know. Okay, so that's that. If you wanted to hear that transition, you could drag this here, change. This is going to be your playback region, and maybe I only want to hear these 4 measures from here. So I want to hear from here to here, and this the transition. I'm just going to hit play. And it's going to loop because it's just looping that area, and hit stop. Don't mess with any of these, but later on you could actually control the volume or level of each one and the pan. You can make this one come out of the left side, this one come out of the right, all that. But for now, just hit save. And let's see, submit a screenshot for this. Turn this off, I don't care. But make sure I can see your entire track. Your entire play region. So grab this little zoom bar and zoom it all the way to the left so I can see all of these, all of that, your favorites right there, and do a screenshot of the whole thing. Shift Command 4, then spacebar. Spacebar will get me the whole thing, camera. If you see the crosshairs, hit the spacebar and click. And submit that for the second day of this assignment.